Welcome back, family, and thank you again for joining Journey to Harmony. My name is Wes, and I am here today with Bre'yan Wright. Uh, interesting. Yeah, we're happy to have Bree here join us today. Bree is a certified nurse, registered nurse. What's her actual title?
Yeah, registered nurse.
Registered nurse. She is doing her thing right now. For those of you who are interested in possibly becoming a nurse, I think this is a great interview. Get a chance to see a little bit about that process, with her being still a little bit fresh out of out of school and everything, just passing the exam. So, Bree, just go ahead and tell us a little bit about yourself. Why did you become a nurse? What are your thoughts so far in the early stages?
All right, so I'm Bre'yan, right? Or I'll just go by Bree. I recently just graduated from Winston-Salem State University in North Carolina this past May. And what really drew me to wanting to be a nurse is it's so very broad.
Mhm.
You don't have to, you're not like constrained to one certain field. Like if I didn't want to be in the hospital, I don't really have to be. I
Yeah.
have a plethora of options. I can do clinic, I can do aesthetic nursing, I can do travel nursing, which is where everybody wants to be at. Um, I can do like cath lab. It's just a plethora of things that you can do. You don't have to limit yourself, and I really like that about nursing.
Oh, that's what's up. During the pandemic, nurses were making. I mean, it was scary to be on the front lines, but the stories were coming out. Travel nurses were the bosses on stage.
They
So
were the bosses. I mean, they were the
yeah,
bosses.
tell us a little bit about that. Like how does that work in particular?
So before you start traveling, you need at least 1 to 2 years.
Mhm.
Now, travel agencies are more going for 2 years. It's just like since the pandemic, they really needed nurses out there, so they were accepting people with 1 year.
Mhm.
But 2 years is ideal. So first, you want to get your experience out the way, and then once you have your experience, the world is yours. You can try to research really good travel agencies and look at their rates and really go from there. It's really quite easy as long as you have your experience. You're ready to go.
That's what's up. What are some of the perks that come along with it? Like, I guess, like, so if you're a nurse, right, and you decide that you want to go ahead and travel, you're a single person, or what I mean, you have a child that you're with. How does the contract normally work? Like, do they pay for room and board and everything?
Right. So I don't know the exact specifics yet because I haven't really dived into the travel yet because I'm still working on my 1 year. But I do work with other travel nurses. And so really it's you wait, what's the question again? I'm sorry.
Yeah, no, no. Like, what are some of the perks? I guess, like, what does the company pay for? Are you paying for your own stay and everything else? Like,
So no, they give you kind of like a base pay. So say like you go to California and your base pay is like $4,000 a week. So you
mm,
have that base pay, and then you have like a stipend, which is like let's say like 1,000 or so. So you have your base pay, you have your stipend, and the stipend is what will compensate like maybe room and board, transportation, and things like that. So that's one of the perks. However, with that stipend they say that you need to kind of um well, how can I say it? Duplicate your funds from
okay.
from your home. Like, cause
Mm,
if you're paying for your bills here and you go to like California, you gotta kind of need to duplicate your expenses.
okay.
So they see that you're not just like saving your money, you're actually spending the stipend to pay on housing and things like that. So that's just one of the things you won't pocket the stipend per se.
Gotcha. What was the process like? So you like become a nurse. I mean, you have to go through. Is it 2 years or 4 years?
It technically it's 2 years.
Mm,
You can do your ADN or you can do your BSN. I did my BSN, so that's 4 years. ADN
okay.
is 2 years. So BSN, you have your 2 years of prereqs, and then you have your 2 years of the actual program.
Okay. And then after that, you have like the vaunted test. What's the name of the test again?
The NCLEX. Everyone dreads the NCLEX. The thing about nursing is like schooling's like never over. Although I graduated in May, I still had to study for like 2 months for the NCLEX.
Wow.
So it's like your schooling's never, it's not just over after graduation. You still have studying to do and work to do.
Do you see a lot of nurses that you work with, right? Are they still kind of aspirational in terms of going up? Like are they, is it kind of a space where you're hired in and eventually your pay just continue going up, or are people trying to become nurse practitioners? Are they trying to become physician assistants?
A lot. Some people are trying to do nurse practitioners. Others are more so focused on the travel nursing because,
Mhm.
unfortunately, with some hospitals, you'll get like a 3%, 5% raise,
Mhm.
but your pay is not gonna be exceptionally.
Yeah, higher. Yeah.
Um, I feel like the way that you can really get your pay to be higher is to, unfortunately, like switch hospital systems if you
Mhm.
want to, like stay for maybe a year or two and
Yeah.
then try to explore some other hospitals
Mhm.
or go travel. Travel is like the big thing, is the way that you can grow your pay.
How many people would you say that you work with that actually travel? Like, is it a large portion or is it kind of a small portion?
So it is a large portion. So
Wow.
I'm in the residency program. So that's
Uh-huh.
a year. And so I'm able to rotate between 4 different hospitals.
Hmm.
The first one I went to, it was mostly travel nurses
Wow.
because, some hospitals are very understaffed.
Hmm.
And so, they look to these agencies to come and staff their hospitals. So my first rotation, I had travel nurses orienting me. So, and then I went to my second, which is I opted out. So that's my home hospital now.
Hmm.
And there was a good mix. It was like half staff, half travel, but it's mostly travel these days.
Hmm. So for sure. So you are located in the South a little bit, right? So what has it been like? Like have you been following in terms of the overall market down there? Has there been a lot of influx of people from different states coming down to your area?
Yes, it has definitely been that. When I'm at work and I tell people, I'm originally from Charlotte. I was born here and raised. They're like, what? Like this is the first time I'm ever hearing somebody that was actually like born and raised here because there's so many people from many different places.
Wow.
Yeah.
Um, that, like for you, you were in college, right? What was the college experience like? Like at what point did you decide you wanted to be a nurse? Did you know going into college that's what you wanted to do, or?
I knew freshman year, not even freshman year, I knew the summer of like graduating from high school. I was like, yeah, I'm going to Winston-Salem State and I'm going to study nursing. I don't care how hard it's going to be, but I'm going to get through it. So yeah, from the get-go, I knew I wanted to do nursing.
What are some other projects like you're interested in working on? Like, are you solely just kind of focused on your nursing career right now? Are you doing anything else? Any other hobbies or anything like that?
So right now, I am focused on getting my 1 year experiences down pack
Hmm.
and maybe two. And so I recently have picked up different hobbies because with night shifts, it's hard to get that work-life balance.
Yeah.
So I started working out more. I started just like being more on my nutrition because I used to eat like once a day. No
Wow.
bueno.
Yeah.
Like don't do that if you work night shift. And
Hmm.
it was kind of like weighing on me a little bit. And then like I would come home, just be like sleep all day. I had to wake up at like 5 o'clock and like, oh my gosh. And I just feel like unproductive. So I kind of had to force myself to like get up at, if I work the night, I'll go to sleep at like 7:30, wake up at force myself to wake up at 2 o'clock, get up and do stuff, move around,
Yeah.
try to work out, just
Mhm.
get myself moving so I'm not just like laying in the bed just exhausted.
Yeah, yeah. What are some schedules if you're um I know people have heard about the nursing schedules, like how it's like, you're working 3 days on, 4 days off. What is that? Is that normally what it is? Like, how does that roster
Yep,
work?
that is exactly what it is. And honestly, I'm not complaining about like the 3 days on and 4 days off
Uh-huh.
because a lot of careers don't have that. Some people work 5 days a week and they're exhausted. I mean, I
Yeah.
work 3 rows, which is still exhausting, but like those
Mhm.
4 days off, I'm like, hallelujah. I can just like chill. I don't gotta work for another 4 days. I'm good. So yeah.
what overall, what would you say is like someone who's trying to get into nursing, right? Like what can they expect in terms of entry level like compensation, I guess, for a particular nursing program?
Okay, so honestly, as nurses, we are very blessed because straight out of college, you're going to be making pretty decent money for yourself.
Hmm.
However, you do start as like I don't want to say bottom tier, but you do, and you have to work your way up.
Yeah.
So I'm in the residency, and I'll be transparent about pay. I'm in the residency. I'm currently making $30 an hour, which is
Hmm.
decent
Yeah.
for coming straight out of college. Like I have no
Yeah.
complaints. I could be in
Uh,
a worse situation.
yeah.
So that in that terms, it's good. But
Yeah.
you do have opportunities for bonuses. A lot of
Hmm.
these hospitals are offering bonuses from like 10 to 20K. However, there is parameters within that. So you have to stay maybe like 18 months, for example. I have to stay 18 months within my hospital system to get like
Hmm.
the full thing. But you have your base pay on top of the bonus, which is not bad at all.
Yeah.
So
That's what's up. What would you say is one of your favorite aspects so far of being a nurse?
one of my favorite aspects, it's just learning. It's just learning because a lot of people say that nursing school technically doesn't really prepare you for actually being a nurse once you get out on the field and
Hmm.
you're like really hands-on, really doing it with a preceptor. That's somebody who you start out with that kind of just walk you through. Um, that's the main thing.
What was like when you were you're in your residency now? Have you been placed at all in ICUs or emergency rooms, anything like that?
No. See, the thing about the residencies is you can pick your track. So
Mhm.
you have Mother Baby, you have L&D, you have ED, you have ICU, you have PICU, step down, that type of thing. And so I originally wanted to do Mother Baby or L&D. That was my thing because
Wait. So you said mother, baby, and L&D. Can you
yeah,
explain for non-medical people?
labor and delivery or
Okay, gotcha.
so yeah, that's just the labor and delivery part. And the mother
Okay.
baby is just directly after that mom has had her baby, then you're
Hmm.
taking care of the mom and the baby.
Yeah. That is a really, really like intense place to be in. Like say, like my wife and I, we had our son. He's 2 now, but man, that's like when the moments come that those are some
Yeah,
interesting times. Yeah, you know, what I mean, it's a lot of crying, a lot of this and that. Like,
a lot of screaming.
what's been your least favorite aspect so far that since you've been in the field?
The stress. I think it can get very stressful, especially as a new
Mhm.
grad. You're still trying to get your foot in the door. You're
Yeah.
still trying to build your foundational skills, and
Mhm.
it takes time. You're not gonna walk into the nursing field and be an expert
Yeah.
ASAP. It takes time, it takes building, and it takes patience. I would say, if you're a new grad, just have patience with yourself. But you'll learn a whole lot within your 1 year.
Mhm.
6 months in now, and I learn a whole lot, and I keep learning every day.
Uh-huh.
Every day is something new. So
How's been your experience working with doctors? Like, has it been challenging, joyful, intimidating?
So at first I was terrified to call, to text. I didn't want to talk. I was just like, oh my gosh, I'm scared. Like, what do I say? Like, what if I mess up? What if they think I'm an idiot? I don't know.
Mhm.
So, however, though, at my hospital system, I've had no bad experiences with doctors.
Mhm.
Uh, Usually how you contact them is either by phone or on Bolt. That's like a just a
Yeah, like
computer.
a little pager.
Computer. Yeah.
Okay.
So um necessarily you don't have to talk to them on the phone. I think that's the part that makes people nervous.
Hmm.
If it's something kind of small, you can like text the doctor real quick and they'll respond really quickly. But if it's more of an emergency, then you have to call. But I haven't had any super rude doctors. They were pretty nice. I haven't I haven't had any bad experience thus far.
Um, have you had a chance to travel at all? Like I know you're still young right now. You're making a little bit of money. Have you um gotten out? Like what are your friends doing?
Travel. A little bit. I've just
Mm,
more so been trying to build my friendships here
okay.
and build relationships. I
Mm,
know, again, trying to balance that work-life balance, because I know in this life when you grow, you need like your tribe or like your friendship and stuff aside from work. You can't make like work your whole personality or make
mhm.
work your life, you know. So I just been trying to build my friendships and my relationships around me. So really it consists of going out to eat, trying new different restaurants, going to the movies, maybe going out here and there, you know, that type of thing.